Hi, my name is Paola Guadalupe Estela Chavez. This is my speech for the Model 5 to second partial. So I go to start with the exposition. Well, I'm going talking about our serial killers born or made. So it's for me it's an interesting topic, and I know it's a unusual topic. So I'm going to start. Wait a second. It's complicated, but it's first. Serial killers, AAs, are people who kill at least 3 times with an interval between each murder. So if we consider that a serial killer is the people who is continues with the murders. So these are factors to be considered when talking about past serial killers. Throughout history, a severity of size have been known. Age characterized by type of behavior during the criminal act. Um, for the definition to the serial killers are that in characterized by the mother on the type before their kill people. Serial killers are specifically motivated by a multiplicity of psychological drives, notably the loss of power and sexual compulsion. They often have feelings of inadequacy and worthlessness, sometimes due to humiliation and abuse in childhood, on or the compulsivity or poverty, as well as a low socioeconomic status in adulthood. Other factors is influence to the formation to the children to adult in this person. Some characters so far proposed to define the serial killer are that in the cooling off period, they maintain appearance of normality, like the neighbor, like I don't know, everyone, people inside. So it's complicated to know what person have these pensamientos and do these acts. They're emotionally cool, attracted by the domination and power. They not usually have a bond with their victims. They present a compulsion to kill. They show no remorse and have a desire for prominence and grandeur. Well, that's characteristic I saw in some serial killers in the 1918. A lot of serial killers. I know some is bibliografías. So for me, it's interesting to know that characteristic, know the motive who want to do this. Is interesting. Well, there's some um, and another characters for this that persons. The first is division of the other of the case and the harm. Although there are maybe specific causes, as a general rule, the person who commits a murder sees his victims somehow causing him harm, poses a threat to integrity or a status that a loved one, or represent to staff call to achieving a certain goal. Second, high score of psychopathy. There are cases of murders that are communicated against people who have no relationship with the murder. In many cases, serial killers on in case where the murder is Hetman hearing to end the life of a person. Well, the high score on psychopathy that being in family, I know this born with that high score, but I'm not sure for that. Third, discretion apparential. The personality of most murderers don't usually have a great particularities that make the stand out from the rest of the population. Well, discretion apparenting is the person when I know is a friend, maybe don't know. So these are characteristics complicated to see because well in the park we go to friends and we don't know what happened in the mind with the person in front. The person is practicing dancing, um, talking with other people. All the person are import this character. Therefore, there is necessary a mental disorder. It's not necessary to have a problems with the mind inside the mind. So this, well, I read. There is sociality the idea of identifying murder with the presence of psychopathology. However, in general, is not the case. Normally, the majority of murders are caused by the people considered mentally healthy. Some of the most frequent behind hate crimes, crimes on passion, or those linked to economic or resource issues. Well, when I talk about this topic, this is important because not other the murders, not other the serial killers are from behavior information in the ADN. So these can form because the when was a children or difficult or hard in infancy. When I saw this information, I understand the it's not necessary to be a mental disorder, so have a mental disorder. So this is interesting and important. The five, gender and age. General, the murderers are usually young or middle age. When although numerous cases of murders have even child murders, so can be found. It's rare to me say the child murderers uh, happen in is for me asombroso understand why the children have these feelings. I don't know, it's complicated. Is a topic complicated. I consider this topic essentially interesting because Multiple assassins were developed in the 1980 when I told you, and heavy population in bibliographies. That's interesting for me, where there's no pattern by which they were tired. Different childhoods and different developments in criminal life. I think it's a sensitive issue that is to the basis of privileged killers were obtained. It could be prevent any if any individual has similar partners. Well, I don't want extend in this topic because it's difficult. But for me, it's interesting. I don't know. In Mexico, are uh, some serial killers to are to normal people. Normal people, um, but sell food. Um, what the most recently, I don't know what I say. Mm, I I consult some information. Well, the most recent case was of a man from Iztapalapa, Mexico, where there were more than 13 missing women. This is a horrible topic and was hard for the community. So I spoke by this topic with all respect for me and for other person, and I think is interesting in the point for the respect. Don't know for morbo or other feelings. I expose and I investigating for the respect, and that's it.